Welcome to Rugby Uncovered. I'm Paul Rodriguez, and together with Tom Nash, we're speaking to Emma Taylor from Saracens. Welcome to the show, Emma.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Well, it's great to have you on the show. We don't know much about your background, so we'd love you to tell us how you got involved with rugby.
Okay. So I'm Canadian. I don't know if you can pick up on the accent. But I started playing rugby actually in my province, Nova Scotia. So I'm from East Coast. So it's pretty small. I started playing in high school. I went through university. So that's kind of our natural pathway into the national team program. So I went to St. FX University, played there for 5 years. And then in my last year there, I got involved with the Canadian national team. And then from there, I went over to Ireland actually for 3 years, played in the All Ireland League for Railway Union. And then I moved home September 2019. That lasted about a year and a half. And I came back overseas to play with the Saracens at the end of December. I flew over here. So
Brilliant.
I've been all over the shop with rugby, but
I detect a little bit of an Irish accent when you say Ireland. That's quite interesting.
Oh my God, I actually love you for saying that because the girls make fun of me so much for my accent, but I loved it there and I talk about it so much, but yeah, it's a lovely place.
Excellent. And so you're in a top flight team, so you've literally landed right at the top, which must be extremely exciting.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about your workout regime, what sort of training you do, because you're a forward, but apparently you like to run.
I know. Actually, I remember Poppy Cleo saying to me, it was probably my second week here, and she was like, I heard a little rumor that you like running. She's like, no one over 90 kg likes to run, so I need to know what the deal is here. But yeah, I've always been like that. I'm tall and kind of long levered, and I've just always enjoyed running. It's kind of my little getaway, if you will, more for the mental health really than anything. But I love just like, a little 5K jaunt. So the girls always like ripping me into the gym. They're like, all right, weights time. We get it. You can run, it's time to get strong. So we are in the gym at least 3 days a week. And then usually some sort of on feet and off feet conditioning. But then we do a decent amount of running at actual like team training on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So yeah, that's my general week. But if we don't have a game on a Saturday, I might sneak in a little jog or something,
And you get the girls to come along with you, do you?
No. Oh my goodness. No. So I'm sure sometimes, okay, if I'm doing like a running, like an actual program, like on a pitch, we usually do stuff like that together. And we have a speed, like a strength and conditioning coach that focuses on speed, Tyler. And we've been working out with him a lot on Saturdays. So working more like kind of shorter intervals rather than, for anyone who knows anything about rugby, a 5-kilometer jog is probably the least relevant type of fitness you could possibly do for rugby. So I've been trying to do a little more relevant fitness with the girls, but yeah, they join me for that, but the jogs are for myself, right. My quiet time.
So you put like an audio book on or listen to some music and just go for it basically.
Yeah, mostly music. I find like a more podcast if I'm in the gym or doing something a little more.
Yeah. Like Rugby Uncovered, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I listen when I'm in the gym.
Just Rugby Uncovered, of course.
Yeah. It's basically my only playlist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, Tom's got some questions for you. Thank you so much, Emma.
Lovely.
Now the difficult questions. If you're ready, if you're up for these.
I'm ready.
The differences between rugby life at Nova Scotia, Railway Union, and Saracens. What are they?
That's a really good question. So the thing about being at home and playing rugby, so back in Nova Scotia, is like Nova Scotians are some of the nicest people you'll ever meet. Like everyone's very supportive. The rugby community is actually growing, so the sport itself in Nova Scotia is getting quite big, and it's the fastest growing sport in Canada at the moment. So, I mean, it is definitely becoming more recognized. But the first thing I noticed when I went over to Ireland was just like, you know, when I was living in Nova Scotia and people say, oh, like, especially being like, because I'm 6'1", you know, you go into the hairdresser and they say like, oh, you must play volleyball or basketball. You know, I'd be like, no, I play rugby. And they're like, what? Like, what's that? You know? So when I went over to Ireland, I just found it hilarious. Like I was loving it because, you know, you'd be like, oh, I play, someone would say something along the lines of, you know, like, what do you play? I'd be like, oh, I play rugby down at Railway. And like, expecting to have to explain it to them, they're like, oh yeah, I go to Railway games all the time, you know. So it's nice to actually be in the environment where rugby is a thing, and it's like really you know, there's a lot of views on it and everyone actually like understands the game. You know, at home all my best friends are really supportive of rugby, but you know, they don't know a single law and they watch the game and they're so confused and they're just basically like, yeah, Emma, like, good job. You know, they don't actually know. So I definitely find the knowledge around the game and how long it's been played is definitely the biggest difference. Then, like, you know, from actual Saracens compared to being over in Ireland, like the quality of rugby, like the pace of the game. So, you know, the All-Ireland League over there is definitely growing. And you know, I played for Railway in my last year. We won the All-Ireland League for the first time. And to be honest, like between my squad, like the Railway squad, UL Bows, who we were playing against, like, you know, half of the Irish national team was kind of playing against each other. So the quality was strong. But, you know, just even being over here playing with Sarries and, you know, you have Marley Packer and Vicky Fleetwood, who've both been to like 2 World Cups. You know, you just don't really get that experience anywhere else. So it's nice to play with people that, you know, have been through that and they can kind of carry you along, like, you know, the leadership and kind of the experiences that they felt. So that's definitely the biggest difference is, you know, being around people who actually have lived rugby. Like, it's just not a thing at home yet, but it's getting there, hopefully.
I assume you're also doing more training sessions, doing more gym sessions than you might have done in Ireland.
Yeah, so that's another thing. In Great Point, like they had actually just gotten a gym actually when I was leaving, just in time. I told you I hate the gym, so the second the gym came in, I was out of there. No, I'm just kidding, but they just got a gym, so it is becoming like almost more professional over there, and I wouldn't be surprised if the All-Ireland League kind of followed the Premier 15 setup in like the next couple of years. But yeah, just, you know, having a trainer and like a physio here for when you have those niggly injuries, like those are just things you can't replicate. Yeah, like having a strength and conditioning coach, having, you know, a program kind of tailored for my body and stuff. There's just things like, they seem like little things. But yeah, that's definitely a big difference as well.
You started at the age of 12, which I think is probably quite common in Canada for girls.
Yeah.
Did you have a feeling then at that age that it was always going to be rugby, or were there other sports competing for your time, attention?
Not at all. I really, like, I didn't love it really when I started playing, which is funny because, you know, you get the people that are like, you know, the second I picked up a rugby ball, I never looked back. Like, I was a big basketball player, and actually ice hockey was, it also sounds so funny saying ice hockey, but I know when I say hockey over here, people think I mean field hockey. So, yeah, so I was a big ice hockey player. And that was probably, I think it was just also like something I kind of shared with my dad as well. Like my brother played, and my dad was my coach, and I grew up, and even right until the second I went to university, like I was playing ice hockey. And, you know, when I was first looking to go to university, I was looking at schools where I might be able to play hockey or play hockey and rugby. You know, I was still kind of holding on to that. Don't get me wrong, while I was going through high school, when I was, you know, 15, 16, 17, I started getting involved with the provincial programs and started playing like higher level rugby, and was like, okay, I'm actually not bad at this. like I could actually might be okay. Like I actually like playing at this level. It really started to grow on me. And then when it came down to choosing, which is really common at home, like if you want to get like a sports scholarship or anything to go to university, you generally are playing one sport. It's pretty like demanding physically, mentally. So, I just made the decision. I was like, you know what? I think rugby is my sport. So it didn't really come like right away, if that makes any sense. Like I was always such like a multi-sport person that, if someone said to me, I don't know, 15 years ago, like, hey, you can play rugby and never play anything else again, like I still wouldn't, I'd still want to do a little bit of everything. I think it's kind of transferred into my rugby playing, except for my sprinting. I noticed when I'm now with my sprint coach, I sprint a little bit like a hockey player, like a skater. So it's messed me up a little bit, but
right. Yeah. So how long has that been the case in Canada, where you could choose rugby as the sport you love, the sport you want to play, and is that a very recent thing, or?
No, like university rugby, like even I went to St. FX University, and the program had been going on for, I want to say like 20 years, long before that I had gotten there. And even longer than it wasn't like an actual varsity sport. So it was like a club level university sport. But yeah, like over the last few years, I have even some of the universities, like I was having this conversation yesterday with one of the girls, like even a couple of the universities that when I was first deciding to go to university, so like 17, 18, some of the schools that I wouldn't even considered because their rugby program was so kind of poor at the time, and they really had no coaching stuff. Like they're actually coming and rising up, so it's becoming quite competitive. It wouldn't have been strange when I was going through university, and especially the years before that, for there to be, because there's 4 different conferences across Canada, and then all of the conferences come together for the national tournament. You obviously have to win your conference to go to nationals, like a general tournament style, top 2 seeds, etc. But it wouldn't have been strange back then for there to really only be like 2 really strong teams in each conference, where everyone kind of hibernated to. But now, like, I mean, especially in the bigger provinces like Ontario and, Quebec and whatnot, like you could have 5 or 6 teams that are like kind of neck and neck for who's the best. So, and I mean, I know the story, I'm kind of off topic, but it is really important, like at home, because that is, our main pathway into the national team program. So it helps our national team grow, but it also helps girls like get selected. So it does help to have that choice of going to, if everyone went to the same, 2 or 3 universities all across Canada, people wouldn't get playing time and they wouldn't get to develop. So it's nice that, everyone has a choice now, and there's multiple universities that actually have good coaching and great athletes, etc. So. Sure.
Well, there are enough of you in this country, aren't there? Canadian internationals. It's astonishing. Is it 5 of you at Sarries?
Yeah. So there's 5 of us, 4 forwards. Alicia's the lone back. One, Mackenzie Carson, just had surgery, so she was out with injury. And Alex Ellis wasn't able to play this season either. But there's 3 of us. Hopefully, we're all in the squad for the weekend, so that'll be exciting.
Sure. And you all speak to Canadian to each other, so nobody can understand you.
Exactly. That's some of our plays. We call them in Canadian, and only we know them. So it makes us look really good.
So, as you've just referred to, this coming Saturday, it's the second of the Allianz semi-finals that you have against Loughborough.
Yeah.
How are you going to win?
Oh, that's a great question. So, we've just played them about a month ago. And I know just before I came over, actually, Sarries had played Loughborough right before Christmas. And it was an unbelievable game. One of the best games I'd watched in a while. They like to attack out wide. They have a strong kicking game. So, we're going to have to manage the game really well. We're going to have to, exit out of our end to relieve the pressure. And one thing that I noticed that they had done, and we've kind of chatted about as a team, is they like to disrupt the breakdown, and they're very quick over the ball. So we have to make sure our speed to support is there. But honestly, I'm biased because I'm a forward, but I think our forwards are so strong, and we have some phenomenal ball carriers. So I think if we're gonna beat them, we're gonna have to bully them a bit. And I think that our physical dominance is really gonna shine through. I think discipline will be a huge component of the games, because you have Emily Scarrett, who can slot a penalty kick from almost anywhere in over the half. So keeping the penalty count down will definitely be a huge factor. But yeah, I'd say just our physical dominance, and like I said, some of the best ball carriers in the league are on our team. So I'm excited to see them. And I think that's how we'll do it. It's my plan.
You've got an amazing squad. When are you told that you'll be starting, or on the bench, or what stage is that?
I think we will find out, I think this evening prior to training, just so that we can get a couple good sessions in, just with, if you're going into a lineup, you want to know who's lifting you, who you're lifting. We have quite a few calls. We like to get things, a bit tighter. And honestly, one of the biggest benefits to that is for the players who aren't in the squad, for them to be able to go back, maybe take time, learn some of Loughborough's lineouts and some of their back plays, and then actually run them against us in a training session. It's really helpful. But yeah, it's definitely, I do not envy the coaches picking the squad right now, because the last few months have been very competitive, at training, on the pitch. Some people have come out of the woodwork and really put in some star performances. So like I said, I don't envy them at the moment, but it's got to be done.
Certainly. Well, we are going to be at the game, so we might say hello at some stage, hopefully, maybe after the game.
Yeah.
And all the best. I hope it goes the way you want it to.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Emma.
Thank you.
Just before you go, I'm sure people listening would love to follow your progress wherever you are and whatever you're doing. Are you on social media at all?
I am. I mostly use Instagram. So my Instagram handle is Emma Gabrielle _. I also have a vlog, which people have been tagging me, all my Saracen stuff. I keep getting tagged in my vlog. It's tailored, like my last name, for life. So you can follow both of them. I've been on a bit of a vlog hiatus, but maybe I'll start it up again if if the people want.
And you're going to Instagram some of your runs, obviously. So so we can follow your progress there. That'd be fun. And then
I know I'll post my fitness regimes for everyone, because
that's what we want.
Just get Poppy to film you as you run together.
Yeah, I know. She'd be. I'm sure she'd love that now.
Brilliant.
Excellent stuff. Look, thank you once again, Emma. It's been an absolute pleasure, and good luck on Saturday. And we hope to have you back on the show.
I would love that. Thank you so much.
Brilliant stuff. Take care. All the best.
Bye.
And thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you next time.